Silly's a literal former world champion,
Yeah,
and
like
he's playing in a college league for money.
yeah, like
And
there's
then it was Activision. Now this is not public, so
it is
I'm
now.
gonna
It is
say
now.
allegedly,
Allegedly.
but I have a source that knows, and believe me or don't believe me. Allegedly, it was Activision that told the CCL he needs
Spicy
he
takes.
needs to be able to play.
Oh, AJ's farming content already. Oh, that's going
That
straight on the TikTok. What's going on YouTube today, and welcome to a brand new podcast. Today, we have for you the C site. This has been a project that me and AJ have been thinking about for a while. As two big Call of Duty heads, two of the greatest minds in
well,
Call of Duty.
we went through the greatest minds, bro.
The
I don't
greatest
know about
minds.
that. I
Two
don't know about that.
of the greatest minds in Call of Duty.
We were talking about it in Toronto. I was like, dude, let's make a podcast. And like every college age male does.
Like every college
And
age male that drinks cold brew coffee comes together, and finally we've made a podcast. We're definitely
better or for
excited,
worse.
for better or for worse. But kind of our first episode. If you guys are excited about it, let us know down in the comments down below. First one will probably go up on my YouTube, and then if it gets enough traction and enough likes and comments and what you guys think, maybe we'll start posting it more, doing some more stuff. We'll probably definitely do another episode after the Pro-Am major this weekend. Kind of dating ourselves here. Also, I apologize if I sound like shit, because I feel like shit. But anyway, I'm sure my
Flu?
editor's gonna have to, yeah, without a doubt, the flu.
Actually, no, dude. On Thanksgiving, I had the flu like the day before Thanksgiving, and then the day before Thanksgiving, and then on Thanksgiving, and it fucking flatlined me.
I'm
Like,
pretty close to getting flatlined here. I took 2 days
like
off
I
from
went,
work.
yeah, I went to the doctor because like I woke up the day before Thanksgiving, and my like I coughed, and it felt like a nuclear like atomic bomb went off in my chest, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go wait in the 6 hour line at Med Express and get medicine for it. And I walked in and I was like, I'm 99% sure I had pneumonia or bronchitis or something like
Yeah.
that. And they're like, oh, let's test you for the flu. And yeah, sure enough, came back positive. And I apparently there's a national back order for Tamiflu.
Oh my God. Okay, good thing I didn't go
So
in today.
so basically I went to literally every like I pissed a lady at Walgreens off because like truly like I have no idea what goes on at pharmacies. So I walk up or I roll up to the window and I give her my prescription and she was like, "We can't fill Tamiflu." I was like, "What do you mean? Don't you make it in the back?" Like not knowing they didn't actually make the medicine in the back, they just mix it. So she like was visibly angry and I just kind of like left. I was like, "Okay, sorry," and then like left. Like I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I didn't know. But the most random of places, I was like, I'm gonna cut my losses and go see if they have Theraflu at Walmart. And I was like, you know what? Let's ask the lady at the desk. And so like I didn't have a mask, so, like I put my shirt up like
Yeah.
this, and stood like 10 feet back. I was like, you guys have Tamiflu? And she was like, yeah, we got a ton of it. I'm like, okay, so Walmart has Tamiflu maybe.
Yeah.
So if you do go and you can't get it filled at like a Walgreens, because like mind you, I went to literally every single ever loving pharmacy in my area, and I went even like a town over, and
Yeah.
like none of them had Theraflu or Tamiflu, but the Walmart had it. So like behind in the pharmacy. So yeah, I'm better now.
I'm getting close to just calling it quits and just having to go into work tomorrow, which sucks. But Call of Duty takes precedent over anything at this
Yeah.
point. Call of Duty takes precedent over anything. So, big ticket issues. The flu, without a doubt. Okay.
Yeah.
The flu, without a doubt. But let's kind of look into these power rankings. I don't have a screen for this, so we're just going to kind of discuss it right now.
Okay.
Number one, we have the Minnesota Rocker. I'll go through the
No.
whole list. I'll go through the whole list.
No. No. Is this
Oh,
after this week's matches?
this is after this week's matches. Yes, hold on. I have it. I
No.
have it.
Hell no.
Hold on. Let me pull it up. Minnesota Rocker.
No.
They are the number 1 team in the league right now. Minnesota Rocker. Hold on.
They just lost to Vegas.
And they're still the number 1 team with the best record.
Who's doing these power rankings?
This is like straight up from the CDL. Minnesota Rockers number 1.
Faded.
Minnesota Rockers number 1. Toronto Ultra number 2.
I can entertain that.
Atlanta FaZe number 3.
No.
Boston Breach number 4.
No.
London Royal Ravens number 5.
Maybe.
LAT
Should be higher.
number 6.
Should be higher.
Optic Texas number 7.
Should be 12th.
Los Angeles Gorillas number 8. New York
Yeah.
Subliners at 9. Florida Mutineers at 10. Seattle Surge at 11. And then Vegas Legion at 12. So we'll go from the top of the list. Why do you think that Minnesota Rockers shouldn't be?
Well, they just got 3-1 by the Legion.
And that's their only
loss.
All
right. So one of those losses, full disclosure, I'm the biggest Optic fan you'll ever meet.
Oh, no, really?
One of those losses shouldn't count. I mean, it should count because it was a forfeit, but you didn't really play.
You mean one of those wins? One of those wins shouldn't?
Right. Or yeah.
One of those wins?
Like especially when it's like, if it's not like, this is power ranks. This isn't like actual ranks, right?
No, this is the actual ranks. This is the rankings.
Oh, I thought this was power rankings. Okay.
This is match wins, match losses, match win percentage, and then game.
So if we're
percentage.
talking,
so technically right now, Minnesota and Toronto are tied with the same record, but Minnesota have a higher game win percentage. And if you guys can check my stats on this right now, but it's coming straight from the Call of Duty League website.
I mean, you get fuck, dude, my cat's going nuts. You get a free win off of a questionable call from League Ops. And then a very mad Optic Gaming.
A very mad Greenwall.
Which, could it have been handled differently? Probably, but you're the biggest organization in Call of Duty esports history. If I would want anyone to stand their ground and call the league out on it, I'd want it to be them, regardless of whether I'm a fan or not. These are just straight up rankings, right? But power rankings, I've had them like middle of the pack team.
Ooh, who are you putting at number 1 then?
Probably. Let's talk in tiers instead of like number 1.
We'll go
because I feel there's no clear cut number 1 team.
I'll agree. Okay. I think especially super early on, it's very hard to tell. Even before going on to LAN, I feel like online performance does not prove who you are online.
Not at all, especially in a game like this.
Look at
more connection based than.
Look at Cold War. Cold War Seattle Surge. I'll die on that hill. They were not the bottom place team there.
Right.
They were not that bottom place team.
S tier. Let's see.
I'm going Ravens. Ravens without a doubt. I'll die on this hill. London Royal Ravens without a doubt. I'm putting them in S tier.
I'd put them in A. I wouldn't put them in S.
I'm putting them in S tier.
Probably. S
Breach?
probably.
Breach without a doubt.
I'd put Breach there. I'd put
Ultra.
Optic there. I'd put Ultra there.
I'd put Ultra.
I'd put Optic in A, not S.
Put Optic in
A. FaZe and Thieves go into A.
FaZe and Thieves, okay.
B, Rocker.
B, you're going B all the way down to B for Rocker.
Yeah, Rocker, Surge. Fuck.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The only top tier teams that I see right now, realistically, I'm picking 3, like S tier teams. Minnesota Rocker. I'm gonna be honest with you. They look good. They
get exposed on land.
Right now they look good. I think they're playing well. I'm gonna put Breach up there.
They're playing well, but
I'm gonna put
It's
Breach up there.
Attach's team. He's gonna win one event and not do anything the rest of the year. It's just his thing.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put. So if we're going S tier, I'm gonna go Rocker, Breach, Ravens.
It's a little too early to put Ravens in S tier for me.
They're all playing out of Carolina right now. Or I'm sorry, Asim is playing out of Texas, and the rest of the team is playing out of Carolina. Or
It's a
no,
little.
they all should be playing out of Carolina right now. That entire Ravens team should be playing out of Carolina.
I
Um,
didn't know that.
playing out of
Why out of
Carolina.
Carolina?
I don't know. I think that's where they picked last year with visa issues and things like that
Oh, word. Yeah.
to get closer to the main server for last year. So I think they're kind of making home there. So if we're gonna talk about pinging issues like that, without a doubt, Ravens definitely probably have the biggest one. I know that a lot of people ping high on the Denver server playing against LAT. And isn't that who the Ravens lost against? Was LAT? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Thieves. Thieves haven't impressed me yet this year.
And I will stand by that.
They should.
Draws is not that good.
He's looking different right now.
I don't even know if I can say that.
Playing eights, and he kind of took over in that optic match.
Let me see. Who
But
did they lose to?
there,
Oh,
there
they
were so
lost
many
to
factors.
Surge.
Can we
They
talk
lost to
about that
Surge.
fucking match real quick? It pissed me off.
Which
Shotzi
one?
straight up disappears and respawns. I get that he has COVID and he's not there and whatever, but like, you're a star player. You are a multi FPS champion. You are literally one of the best in the S tier of submachine gun players in the game.
Okay.
You know the game inside and out more than 90% of the players in the league. But you can't find a way, and it might be just like an optic curse, right? You can't find a way to fit in with this team. It happened in Vanguard, and it's happening now. Like maybe all right. So the only common denominators here are Scump and Dashy.
I'll agree with
All
that.
these teams, the only common like literally the only common denominators are Scump and Dashy, right? So it could be their play styles not mixing well with other people's play styles, but like it for the life of me, I don't know how you just can be one of the best slayers in the game and not fit in with the team it respawns. Like the first map, right, the hard point looked fucking phenomenal. I mean, classic optic can't put it away in like a good fashion, but like look good. And then search and destroy looked all right. Choked fucking 4 rounds in a row at the end. Whatever, I could forgive that. I can't forgive that, but like for argument's sake, let's forgive that. But to get absolutely choke slammed in the control in the hard point and just do nothing, like, dude, you could have a bad series, but like it's been a year and a half. Like there have been star moments that kind of like forgive some of this play, right? Like hero plays, but literally same year or different year, same optic.
I'll agree with that. So, what do
Like
you think that if we're just gonna talk about optic right now, what do you think is the main issue? You're calling for Shotzi's head right now.
so, everyone's still figuring out the game.
Okay.
The meta did just change, and they looked phenomenal before the M4 GA or whatever the fuck that shit show was. Uh,
We won't talk
so
about
it might
the.
just be a little bit more time, but they look just so uncoordinated. It's either they're playing, I don't want to say perfect because they never play perfect.
I'll agree.
They're playing well enough to beat most of the teams in the league, or they're 12th. There's no in between with this team.
I'll agree.
Zero.
I'll agree.
It's either you're on top of the world for a map, or you're playing like you for your 4 players that are champions that have never touched the game in their lives. And for the life of me, I don't know how long all 4 of those players have been playing Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and they still, and we don't see what goes on behind the scenes. We only see what they want to put out, right? But the mental and the bounce back, there's none. It's
There's
like
none.
one thing goes wrong, you expect, like as a fan, you just expect to lose a series.
I'll put that on Dashy and Ellie, and I'll die on that hill. I'll put that on Dashy and Ellie.
I could see that.
I think Illy is the dark horse that everyone forgets about. Like he might fry out, but I think Bruce taking a lot of the spotlight is taking away from his gameplay. To be totally honest with you, I think it checks him. I think the issue of his thumb being another. Um, you know, I think it's, and I said this before. I don't see this team sticking together. I don't, and
I don't think they should have.
I don't think they should have, especially after realistically when they made the announcement last year of dropping Dashi and Illy was
For
what
attach though, is faded. That's faded.
I don't even know if it was for
Where would he
attach
fit in? It was the rumor was attach
and Cammy.
and Cammy or Hydra and Cammy.
They weren't gonna pay for Hydra.
Which Cammy, I would be fucking elated if Cammy went to Optic.
Why?
Elated.
Why?
He's
He's a mid
fundamentals.
tier. He's a
Check.
mid tier SMG. Mid tier SMG. I'll agree with that.
Fundamentals, check. Ice, give or take.
Give or take.
Give or
yeah.
take. But the Optic as an organization is obsessed with having star-studded lineups.
Yeah.
We saw what happens when you don't win all the time with a star-studded lineup.
Yeah. Formal, Envoy, Dashi, Scump.
That, and then the Dynasty
Dashi.
team broke up,
Ooh.
and and because of internal drama, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what point I'm trying to make here. I'm just
They're
off
just
the top of
checked.
my
They're
head.
just checked. They're just checked.
And
I think it's too early
it's
to be
the beginning of
checked.
the year. Yeah, and as a fan, I've been through so much pain with this team, and I just want a Call of Duty team not to ruin my week for 1 week.
I agree, and I don't think they will. I think going to land this next weekend in Raleigh will definitely be a big mental check. As crazy as it sounds, I mean, Scump's playing probably the best COD he's ever played in his entire life.
Oh, he is moving. So imagine, I think it was Damon that said this. Imagine if there were red dots on the map, on the mini map.
Christ Almighty,
How different this kid would still be moving.
Yeah,
He has had such a great performance through the M4 meta, and now that he's on the Vaznev, like there are so many, just like not even like slaying plays, but like heads up plays that traditionally, he made these plays in Vanguard too, but traditionally, Scump's always been the Slayer.
yeah,
And to see him grow, and I mean, he is one of the oldest players in the league now, but like to see him grow from for example, like Advanced Warfare, like he just shoot people and move and shoot more people and
yeah.
just kind of like,
With
and
no
given
movement.
those games were kind of like, you kind of had to, it was literally just like team deathmatch for all 4 modes or all 3 modes. But like BO3, Infinite Warfare, uh you know Modern Warfare, BO4, for him to be making these, not just high slaying impact plays, but like high map impact plays has been refreshing, and to see him making them consistently and see how much of an impact it has on the map and the overall match has been promising. It's been promising.
I'll agree. Without a doubt. I think they have a lot of growing to do.
But they had a whole year.
I think you're kind of checked, and I've said this for a while. I think this team got kind of checked once you drop to your star-studded players you expected to have for a while. And
How about how bad Prelude is?
don't even. We'll get to that. So you don't think? So you think Minnesota Rocker are gonna get exposed on LAN?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the Toronto Ultra?
No, I think they'll
No,
be fine. I think they'll be fine,
I
dude.
think they get exposed. I don't
I
think this
think
team's that good. I
I
really
think
don't.
some of the plays being made by Scrappy aren't going to happen, but
Really, he was like the bottom of my tier list. If I'm gonna pick people, I think
Scrappy
Scrappy
has
is
been a monster.
no, yeah, no. I mean, like he's like the least of their issues. Realistically, I think if you're gonna pick two people that are like the odd man out, it's Kleenex and Insight.
They've been underperforming, but I
Not
think they've been doing
underperforming. I think
just enough to get by.
I think Insight, without a doubt, is not the same Insight that he was last year. I mean, he's dropping right now a 1.09 KD. He's
Could be
dropping
worse.
he's dropping high numbers in S&D and control, but is getting absolutely wrecked with a .93 in hard point.
Hey, a 2-3-5 team is still a winning team.
Agreed. Let's see. Scrappy's dropping a 1.18. Standy is dropping. Where is he? I just saw him. 1.16. And then there's Kleenex who's dropping. Where is he? Where is he? Hold on. I have this. Shout out to Breakpoint for all these stats. It was not good though. Kleenex is dropping at 0.82.
0.82
0.82
overall through everything.
overall through everything.
Jeez.
The only people below him right now are Havoc, Prolute, and Spart.
Bart is, oh my, is he last?
Spart is the last right now. He has not had a pause. They go to
Wow.
KD. Same thing with Prolute. Same thing with
Prelude's so bad. Him
Hav.
and Haggy getting into it was funny.
You know, so I think they get exposed on land. Atlanta FaZe, they don't look like they have the same power that they had last
No, they
year.
don't. They don't, and I love it.
And
I am a certified phase hater.
I think realistically, I think them dropping Alec was one of the worst decisions they could have had.
Ever.
Um,
And it wasn't even Alec who costed.
yeah, no. And I will die
People
on
are
this hill.
so people are so focused on slaying
And I will die on
that
this hill. Alec has intangibles that you lose in leadership
oh
role.
yeah. Oh yeah. And to hear the comms in that finals match, just like
Alec's like, hey
them
guys, like it's okay. It's okay. You know, we'll get through this. Just keep
well
pushing,
in
you
that and
know.
also them just kind of like dismissing the shit he's saying, like he didn't win a world championship before.
Two. Two of
Rub me
them.
the wrong yeah, right. Rub me the wrong way.
I think the fact that you know, if I'm Alec and I'm like, okay, you guys don't want me here, fine, I'll go get my bag somewhere else. You know.
Right. I mean, he's gonna get paid one of the highest salaries in the league no matter where he goes.
And I understand why I went to LAG. Um, especially just because they have the highest capital
But
backing.
when the roster looked promising.
And that didn't. That didn't. I'm not surprised to
I
see
thought it
where
did.
they're.
I thought it did. I thought the roster looked promising.
It's the same three that they had last year. I'm not surprised. They just kept them on just to keep them on. You
But they
know,
had that run.
they had that run for a bit.
Hook's one of those Shotzi type players too. It's either
Yeah,
he's on or he's not. There's
without a
no in
doubt,
between.
very, very hit or miss. And I think that's their issue is they have three very hit or miss players, including Hook, Neptune, and Spart. You know, I don't think that it's a very good lineup in my opinion. But you know, we're not
Has
talking about them.
Neptune run his course? You think?
Without a doubt. Without a
Has
doubt.
he eat his last haw?
I think after last year, I don't think he should have been brought back. To be honest with you, I think you give him one more chance after major
Who do
two
you
or
replace
three.
him with from challengers?
Pristini,
Really?
Pristini. I think
You think?
right. I think you're going into the pro am. You watch. You know, you have a couple of options, right? You go in. You're like, okay, I'm LAG, and I'm like, okay, who am I picking? I'm gonna first of all look at my challengers team and look at the phenomenal challengers team that they've built this year. Realistically, I think LAG has a better challengers team than Toronto Ultra has had over the past two or three.
That's interesting.
Realistically,
I
this
admittedly
Joey,
haven't been paying enough attention to challengers this year quite yet.
Toronto Ultra, I think is like the Atlanta phase of the challengers. They've have
Mhm.
phenomenal after phenomenal team, just like powerhouse teams. And then they came this year, and I don't even know if they have one, but I know LAG has Exceed, Assault, Joey Deceives, and one more. I can't think of his name, but you know, you also have other talents like Cheen. You can pick up. I think Silly's coaching now, but
I don't think Silly will get a league spot ever again.
I think Silly's out of the question at this point. But
I think Silly is very much so out of the question.
But you have this phenomenal challengers team. That what's it?
Full Sail University threw a bag at him.
I think that
My boy Chris Radial smoked him in the college Vanguard finals.
Um,
That's the only time I've ever rooted for Northwood ever.
I think you look at your bench first, and then you go, okay,
Hmm.
let me see. Hold on, let me see who we
Bro,
got.
get Chris Radial in the league. Shout out Chris
Hey,
Radial.
shout out Chris Radio. I don't even know who that is, but teams, yeah, okay.
He's the player really very so he remember when we were in the pit
Yeah,
at Toronto and I pointed at Silly's team and was like Chris Radial's on that team.
yeah.
So they played together at that event and then a month later played against each other in the college league finals.
Wait, he was allowed to play in. Oh yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, yeah, they allow college as long as you're not a pro, I think. And that was the whole deal was like, yo, Silly's a literal former world champion.
Yeah,
And
like
he's playing in a college league for money.
yeah, like there
And then
should.
it was Activision. Now this is not public, so
It is
I'm
now.
gonna
It is
say
now.
allegedly,
Allegedly.
but I have a source that knows, and believe me or don't believe me. Allegedly, it was Activision that told the CCL he needs
Spicy
he
takes.
needs to be able to play.
Oh, AJ's farming content already. Oh, that's going
That
straight on the TikTok.
I'm not gonna name the source,
That's going straight on the TikTok.
but allegedly, and this is a trusted source in the college esports community out of Ohio, that it was Activision that said that they basically were like, listen, if you don't let him play, we're gonna do something.
Oh Lord.
CCL was against it.
I'm sure they would be. I know the guy that runs the CCL or ran the CCL, and he's pretty good about the integrity of that game and
Mhm.
other things. But we're kind of moving away from that. But
Yeah.
London Royal Ravens. My big ticket issue with them is the fact that I have two things with them. First of all, one, them picking up a seam was probably one of the best pickups they could have had in years. And
Mhm.
re-signing Paul X after the New York Subliners drama, I think Paul and Asim are going to be on a revenge tour, and I think they will be all year long. And I will die on this hill.
I would love to see it. I like Asim. I like Asim as a
I
human. I like Asim as a player.
I think
He's
people need
a
to stop
very
sleeping
selfless
on him.
player,
I think people need to stop sleeping on
and he's been consistently underrated for the past 3 games.
him
Cold War
without a
maybe
doubt.
not, but
Um,
this year and last year he was extremely slept on. It seems one of those players where you set him up for success, he's going to ice it the whole way through.
without a doubt, without a doubt. I think people forget like how good Asim is. You
Yeah.
know, I get that he had inconsistencies last year, without a doubt. But he's definitely a very intangible player that you keep on that roster.
Mhm.
And I think LAG dropping him was a really dumb decision. Personally,
I'm going to make a faded take.
go ahead.
I think it's only a matter of time before Legion starts winning consistently.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think
They've been so close. These losses have been very close.
once they drop TJ Holly, I think they get a lot better.
Yeah, how has TJ finessed himself into a league spot for 3 years in a row is
Another one's
absolutely beyond
beyond
me.
me.
Is absolutely beyond me.
Is another one that's just totally beyond me.
If you swap Prolute and TJ out, maybe even just TJ for fuck any sub in challengers,
Anyone, dude, anyone. Don't get me wrong,
any
TJ
sub in the
Holly
league,
has had some pop
I
off
think they
games.
immediately go into the top
Five,
6.
six,
Yeah.
5, 6. I think Pro Luke gets better. I think Clay gets better. I think
Yeah.
Donnie Temp gets better. Having TJ Holly on your team is just a liability. And I'll at you right now, Tej. You're a fucking liability. You're a fucking liability.
Like,
And
bro.
it amazes me that you were able to get on this bottom tier team. Why? Because I guarantee you weren't able to get picked up by
Bro,
anyone
I
else.
would even be comfortable like, dude, trade Kismet to Legion for TJ.
Trade Kismet. Oh
Yeah.
Lord. I don't think that happens. I don't think that happens.
No, I'm just saying hypothetically, if Kismet went to
Hypothetically,
Legion,
hypothetically,
Kismet went to Legion for TJ,
I think you pick up someone like Nikki
I'm
D.
not faded, right? They say the same role. They're the same role.
TJ Holly's a sub.
Yeah, is
Kismet's like a
Kismet a sub
flex.
in this game too?
I think really TJ is. I think Kismet's like a flex. To be totally honest with
Mm,
you, I really
mm.
don't know.
Well, I don't know about Kismet.
They don't really specify.
Mhm.
I think realistically, you pick up someone like Nikki D, who has previous, time on the team. You got Nikki D and Clay, who have already played together. I think the only thing keeping TJ on this team this point in time is Donnie Temp going, no, I wanted to play with Tej because we never really got a chance after that LA team and they all got dropped for, who knows what and who knows what happened
Temp's
in that
never
kid.
gonna win a ring ever.
I know, and it's heartbreaking because that kid is playing his fucking heart out right now.
He is. I I have never been a fan of Temp until this year.
Ooh, I was a fan of him last year.
Never been a fan of Temp until this year.
I think,
I hated how he acted in Black Ops 4
yeah,
and disliked him ever since.
he's got
But
that, he's got that Draza
I'm kind of,
mentality
I'm kind of warming up to him a little bit.
warming up to him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, him on Los Angeles Thieves would have been a phenomenal team if they knew what the fuck they were doing.
Temp.
Yeah, I think they
That
had.
team was doomed from the start, dude.
I think that they had all of the pieces, but just didn't know what to do with them.
And everyone was like, "Wait till Venom pulls up."
Wait till Venom pulls up,
And
and
Venom
then
pulled up.
and then Venom pulled up, and he got shit on, which
Venom
sucks.
pulled up in a PT Cruiser.
Speaking of LA Thieves, we didn't even get. Oh, hold on. Let's backtrack before we start going on other tangents. Royal Ravens, I think are good. I think they get better once they drop Nasty, and I will die on this hill. I don't think Nasty is that good, and I'm surprised that he got a spot.
I haven't seen enough of him this year to make a full decision yet.
I haven't liked him since last year. Once he got exposed on land, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
I think Trey, once again, I don't think he's gonna have that great of a year again. I think Asim and Paul X are probably your standout players. I think Trey's good in any game mode that you get less than one life. I think Trey's good, realistically. I think his end time
So
game
search and destroy.
search and destroy. Yeah, I think Trey's good in search and destroy. Anything else, I think he's kind of Nasty, he's gonna get exposed on land this weekend, and that's another hill I'm willing to die on. I think Nasty had a phenomenal performance last year. Every time they were online, and the second the stage lights came on, bro was dropping Zuma numbers at 4 and 23. So blame the stage lights, blame the crowd, blame whatever you need to, but I don't think he
Bro, say
does.
what you will, stage lights do fuck shit up.
Oh, I'm sure they do, but you're going into year 2. You're telling me he's gonna drop those same numbers? I think so. I think so. I don't think there's much else that you can drop at this point besides maybe a neg 0.
Neg 0.
Neg 0, neg 1, neg
Kill
0.
yourself with a nade.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
You know. Then we got this Los Angeles Thieves roster, which no more Gavitu. Doesn't really look like it's helping at this point.
Well, they might not. I don't think they'll make it through the whole year with the same roster.
Who do you think's the odd man out?
Kenny,
Nah,
who do you think?
Dylan.
I think Kenny caught fire at the end of last year because he was on his last. I feel like Kenny was on his last life last year.
I can tell you who they're not dropping. It's Straza.
Yeah, no, that's their franchise player.
Which is crazy to me because you have Octane and Dill, and I think you keep.
I think Octane retires soon.
I don't think so. I think he's got 2 more years left in him.
I
Especially
don't
on
think
this
he
team.
wants to play 2 more years.
Especially on this team. Why he's got to make another pub stomping video. Ooh, shit. Sorry. Didn't mean to say that.
No, I just think
Sam, I like you, bro, but like.
I just think
YouTube content got to be making you some more money at this point, bro.
I think like with these games being piss.
Yeah. I think a lot of
Like you've been playing in the limelight since Black Ops 3. You've won your championship. You've proven you're one of the best to ever do it. Like if you're not having fun, go coach, do something. You know what I mean?
I think he's having fun. He just, major 1 through 3 last year. He looked kind of checked until they got to New York.
Yeah.
Then they
If that New York run doesn't happen, I don't think champs happens.
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, anyone. That's not even like a hot take. It's just like
yeah, it's just proven. Kenny dropping a .93,
that's what I'm saying.
Octane dropping a .89,
Who?
Octane. Draza dropping
He's.
a 1.05, and Dill dropping a .96.
I just don't like Kenny.
I know you don't like Kenny. I know you don't like Kenny. I think he's good. I think
I
he.
think he's cocky for what, dude?
I think after Advanced Warfare, he kind of fell off. Besides Major 5 and Champs last year, I think he dropped off.
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, isn't that when they or Infinite Warfare, whatever year they won?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they won in World War II.
World War II. Yeah, whatever year they
Yeah.
won that major in. I think after that he was just kind of checked, and he has been. I don't have an issue with Kenny. I know he can be a good SMG or an AR. I think you keep on the SMG.
He's a
It's
good SMG when the game's brain dead.
when the game's made, without a doubt. I think this game, I mean, if you look, I mean, hold on, let's see. Overall KDs, let's see. Oh, crazy. So you got Celium with a 1.33, Afro with a 1.19, Scump with a 1.18,
Bro,
1.18, and
Celium would be such a superstar personality if he could speak to humans.
if he wasn't a robot, a literal
Right.
robot.
Like
Um,
everyone on that Atlanta FaZe team is just so damn unlikable.
I think you've pictured it that way, to be honest with you.
Like Simp, that
Simp,
cringe villain era.
I can't.
Abeezy's alright.
I can like a Beezy. I was just about to say Beezy's about the only one I like.
Celium, it's
Celium's
just
just a
like you're a
robot, bro.
freak, dude. You know what I mean?
I'm sure, and I've heard from a lot of people that Celium's a lot better once you get him off cam.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure he's just awkward on camera. The one I can't stand is Slasher. I can't stand Slasher, and I will die on this hill. I tried to feel
I
bad
don't
for him.
yeah, I don't know how he finessed his way onto that team. I really don't know how he did that.
Crowder, without a doubt, Crowder.
Really?
Him and Crowder had previous
Well,
teams
yeah,
together.
they teamed on what, Denial?
Denial. They teamed a whole bunch, and I think Crowder kind of threw him a bone. To
Yeah.
be totally honest with you, they were like, "Oh, we need an AR. Let's pick up Slasher." And the rest of the team was like, "If it's anyone but Alec, you know." I think if this team starts doing bad again, think you see a lot of things in that camp going wrong. Uh, I think
Hmm.
realistically, the Tiny Terrace split up after this year. I think MC stays. Slasher maybe retires if he doesn't win a ring. He was checked after last year. I think the Tiny
Let's get
Terrace
it.
split
If a
up.
BZ replaces Scump, it'd make me so happy.
I think it happens realistically, and I've said this before. I think there's only like two players that Optic would ever pick up for to fill in Scump shoes if they stay in the CDL, and it would be one would be a BZ and two would be High or Red. Um,
I don't think there's a world where they don't stay in the CDL
I don't know. I don't know. Depends how the
because
rest of this year goes. To be honest with you,
because you Hector doesn't. I don't know. I don't think Hector has it in his heart to do it. And like, it's not like he paid the 25 million.
that's true. That's true. He definitely
He,
didn't.
I don't, you know, I mean, Envy or slash Optic, whatever, probably
Well,
still feeling the heat from it. But like, it's one of those things where Optic leaves, the league dies, and I don't think neither Hastro or Hex have it in their hearts to do so.
I agree. I agree. But we'll
The
get to
board of
that.
directors, maybe
Maybe.
the board of directors have something different in mind, but I think the two of them will fight to their wits end to keep in the league.
They like Dashy too much to see him go, without a doubt.
Oh, they almost did see him go.
They almost did. We'll get to that though. So we got LA Thieves. We already talked about Optic and all the issues as we're both Optic fanboys. LAG, I think this is the first team that sees a change. And you pick up someone off of your challengers team or one of these better subs in the league that's had previous pro experience. I think if you're LAG, you pick up someone like Pristini or a classic, and I've been saying this for a while. I get it that there's other ones. I mean, you got Pentagram, you got Venom, you got Sheen, you got
Pentagram's
Laundry.
riding that LA Thieves check.
Yeah. No, they dropped him. He's no longer there.
Who's he with?
I think he's just on Iron Blood Gaming, which is one of the better challengers teams.
IBG, yeah.
Yeah. He's either on Iron Blood or Electrifying Steel. I can't remember exactly which one. And then after that, in number 9, you have the New York Subliners, and this is a rabbit hole I could go down for a while. I think Hydra, there's a lot of things that I've heard about Hydra, but we won't get into all of that sauce. But we stand with CDL Pal. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that was weird.
We stand with CDL Pal.
That was weird, dude.
The wannabe Gersh, but
Dude,
I've said this a lot.
why are all the pros children?
Because most of them are.
Halo kids act better than these guys.
Fortnite kids act better than these dudes.
Yeah, they do.
They got a whole bunch of money and now they don't know how to act. It's crazy.
Someone compared Call of Duty esports to the WWE of esports. I was like, you know what?
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong,
You're
dude.
not wrong about it. This roster I have a lot of issues with. I think re-picking up Kismet, one of your better ideas. Re-signing Hydra to that multi-million-dollar deal that obviously
Faded.
I don't know
Faded deal.
I don't know the number, but you just kind of boosted his ego. I think you see him,
especially with all the shit that happened last year, dude. Faded.
Yeah, but that's their franchise player. They're not gonna get rid of him. Then we got Skies and Priesta, and I can't stand Caesar Skies.
Me either. Priesta deserves to be on a better team.
Priesta, I think he's reaching, his shelf life too, where he kind of starts, wrapping it up. Another person who will never win a ring, but probably deserved it, but I don't think he's that good. I think he's had one of his better
Dallas
years.
deserved that one. I mean, the Mickey Mouse ring. I think if anyone.
No, without a doubt. I think
Dallas deserved it. They played perfect COD.
No, I agree. But, I don't think that Priest is that good. But the one that I can't stand is Caesar Skies. That's the only one I don't get on this lineup is Caesar Skies. And he had to have been offered a bag to leave Florida, leaving, internally. I think there's a lot going on in Florida right now. But we'll get on to them next. But
it's sad because they have the sickest branding in the league.
Yeah, and they just can't seem to pull it together. This New York Subliners roster, I don't see them moving so much up and down. I see them staying kind of 9 through 12, realistically.
Yeah, until they have to make a Cinderella run at the end of the year and somehow do it.
I don't think they do it.
I don't think they do it either, but it's just tied to the logo at that point.
I don't think they do it again. Then we have Florida, which has surprised me. Vickle and Brack, I'm surprised with how well they're playing this year.
I am as well. I just don't think.
I don't think it'll continue. But,
no.
I'm surprised with how well they've been able to keep up. Honestly, I had them at the bottom. I had Paris ranked above them right now, but they're playing pretty well. I guess we'll see at the Pro-Am once once again the lights turn on and they play against,
Yeah, let me make an opinion after this weekend on everything.
Yeah. Obviously this is just pre-Pro-Am ideas, but then we got Seattle, which I'm surprised they are ranked 11th right now, going 1-3, because this team.
I think Pred will be a one-game wonder.
No, I think Pred's got the second or third highest KD in the game right now. Just kidding.
I'm talking about in terms of rings.
Oh, yeah, he's got a 1.8.
Chips, not rings. He has a 1.8.
1.8. 1.8. I mean, shit. Where's Mac? Mac's got a 0.90. I mean, Stib, that kid's different with a 1.15. Then you got Lamar accuracy at like a 0.88. But I think Lamar accuracy has the most hill time in game combined.
Yeah.
But
Lamar almost was retired and somehow just had the most ridiculous comeback in esports history.
Oh god.
He beat FaZe twice and then all of a sudden He just has locked a league spot for the next 3 years.
He's got that ice in him, bro. He's got that ice. He's the Titan killer. Call him the Night
I
King.
guess.
Bro's
I
got
guess, dude.
ice. He's able to take them all down. Then we got Las Vegas Legion. We talked about them a little bit. You know, they're 12, but I think if you drop TJ Holly, your liability, I think this team gets better. I think they're
Yeah.
able to successfully rise up these rankings. I know for a fact that they're definitely better than Florida, New York, and Los Angeles. I mean, shit, they held phase to a 2-2 going in map 5. They got costed in, or I'm sorry,
Can we talk about something
saves.
real quick? I got called faded last year for saying that Krim and Clay wouldn't work well together.
No, I don't think you were faded. Too big of personalities, and
Like 10 different people called me faded for it.
I'm
They're like, no, they teamed together in Black Ops 2. Like, yeah, before they fucking won 12 championships each.
yeah, literally. Before their
They
egos got through the
dropped
roof.
Clay.
Weren't they both on the Empire together,
Yeah,
or was Clay on New York?
Clay was on Empire.
Clay was
And
on
yeah, they
Empire.
won on Empire, but
Yeah.
you don't have a Shotzi and Illy. You have a
Or
Hydra
Hook. Or
and
Hook.
right. You have a Hydra and they had Hook on Adderall.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a different Hook.
Yeah. They had skinny Hook. Not that he isn't skinny still, but
Skinny
they
Hook.
had Adderall skinny Hook.
Adderall Skinny Hook. Ugh.
If we start drug testing in the CDL, half the
Half the
teams
league's
just
gone. Half
disappear.
the league's gone.
It's so sad.
Now we'll talk about kind of a bigger ticket issue that I think me and you have both been wanting to talk about, the SAE.
Dude.
SAE.
All right, let's look at it this way, right? So if we're speaking about this in terms of the league, right? How the league handled it. It's GA'd. The league can't honor that. They can honor it, but they're not really supposed to, right? So let's take the GA idea and throw it out the fucking window,
Okay,
okay?
I'll go with that.
Because if we're going to speak about this in terms of what actually happened, we have to totally forget that it was GA, right? If we're talking about morality, then sure, we'll keep the GA in mind. But straight up rules, GA is a non-factor.
Okay.
You pull out a streak, no matter if it's GA or not, you get a bug that locks you for 5 seconds. Okay. Now, there has never been a precedent that this was considered a quote unquote game breaking bug, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, the ladder glitches in Vanguard will look right past that for some odd reason. Probably because the coaches didn't want to. The coaches had honor and knew it wasn't going to affect the map and didn't press it, right? But so okay, timeline here. No matter if it matters or not in the grand scheme of the map, right? You see the streak happen, you see the glitch happen. Is a coach, whether you know it's going to impact before you know whether it would have impacted the game or not. If I were a CDL coach in this position and I see my player pull out a streak and he's glitched, right? How much time's left? Is it going to impact the map? Where my players on the map? How many people are on the point? Where was it going to hit? Where do you think it was going to? Um, how even if the streak is G8 or not, right? If we keep that in mind, can he put it back out and gun 2 or 3 people? Like, is he going to get timings? Is he going to be line of sight on people? You take all of those factors in. Okay. Now, if you have integrity as a coach and you run through all of those checklists and the answer to most of them are no, you leave it be. You lost the map. You could have done 900 other things during the map that could have resulted in a map win. Now, if you want a free round replay, sure, bitch about it. The league will probably give it to you. But for them to, number one, have made a case for a round replay given the circumstances. Number two, the league giving them a full map replay given the circumstances. Insane to me, right? How League Ops looked it over and didn't take any of that into account. Not that they had to because it's not in the rule book. What's in the rule book is there's, from what I understand, two different bugs, right? Game breaking ones and minor ones, major and minor. So this falls under a major bug. And the major bug didn't have a precedent set because it has never happened in the league, as far as I'm aware. And this is where the issue lies. This is whether it was optic gaming or not, whether it was a match forfeit or not. The precedent is if you get a streak that is bugged, right? And the whole reason it's GA is because it's bugged. You if you earn that streak in game, the precedent that has been set is that you could pull it out, hope to God you get the bug, and if you do, you play the map over again with no questions asked. That is where the overarching issue lies, is the fact that the precedent been set by the CDL in League Ops is that it's a full map replay no matter the circumstances. Now, was the CDL right in making that decision? No.
No, no, no. I
But
agree.
the decision has been made. In my opinion, no. But the decision's been made, and that's just how it's going to be. And it's horrible, right? Like, we could talk all day about, oh, it was G8, oh, it wasn't going to make map impact. Some person on Reddit, and again, this is on Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt, did the math from the VOD, and it wasn't even going to land in time
Before the
before the round
match, yeah,
expired.
exactly. I
So,
mm,
number one, sorry,
no, you're good. Go ahead. Finish your
is a
rant.
coach, Brian Saint, you know this, right? You were a Call of Duty player. You know this. You know all of the factors. You just wanted a free map replay. And, if I didn't have integrity, I'd do the same fucking thing. But, your competitive integrity goes out the window as soon as you ask for that. And then from the league's perspective, it goes out the window once you set that precedent, right? Why are we playing these matches? Why are we watching these matches if we know that a player can straight up get a kill streak and replay the map if they're losing?
Yeah,
Like what's the point of playing if that's a literal set precedent by the league?
I have
I
a couple of schools of thought on this. First of all, we'll start with number one. Not a lot of players with and I will agree with you, competitive integrity, especially in this league. I understand that people have to keep it, but if I'm a coach in a $25 million league trying to keep my job, knowing that there is probably 16 other coaches that could also do it and do the same thing, probably just as good, if not better than me, I'm going to do whatever I have to at the end of the day to keep my job. So I'm going to fight tooth and nail for it no matter what, you know. Why? Because I think, right, if I'm coaching someone and, it doesn't show a good sign of faith, even if competitively to the public, you go, hey, I think we should replay it. You fight it a little bit, whatever. To my player, I'm going to be like, hey, man, I'm going to back you on this decision at the end of the day. But realistically, I don't think we should have. But that's a closed door discussion that we have, not one that's public, very public, because it shows the fact that you're not kind of backing your player. You don't have his back no matter what. And for
right, and I
me,
agree to a certain extent.
to a certain extent, right? Situational depending on, what goes on and
Right.
what happens. In a situation like this, you go, oh, hey, you talk to this player and you go, oh, hey, by the way, like, what do you think? Do you think we should replay the map? Optics saying, if he's going, okay, hey, we should replay the map, and you go, okay, I as a coach feel like I should back my player and be like, no, 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 we have to replay that. I understand the fact of competitive integrity, but I think it's wrong to openly during that time just be like, hey, man, no, I don't think we should. It's a GH streak. I don't care what the rules are. I'm going to try and back my player to the fullest extent at the end of the day. I think if you
Right.
don't, it kind of ruins your coach-player relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
your player's not going to want to listen to you because it's like, well, he didn't back me up on this. Why should I back him up and listen to his comms? And then you have a whole nother mess of issues. So I understand where Brian Saint's coming from to like kind of back his player in this decision. I totally get it. I understand it. Do I think it's
I don't
right?
know.
Do I think it's right?
I don't.
No.
I I get the you're behind your players the whole time, right? But there's I was always me personally being a coach and also, having been coached the last 4 years, our policy was if it's within reason and it affected the
Yeah,
game, if you directly affected the outcome of the game, I'll be behind you 100%.
like I said,
But if it's like
situational.
if it's a free, if it's like a scummy freebie, we're not going to do it.
Oh, no, no,
And
no, no.
the same goes for the opposite way, right? If we have a DC and it's not in a team fight, not in like let's say Overwatch, right? We have a
Yeah,
disconnect in the first 30 seconds of the match. Yeah, we'll replay the match. If it's in the middle of the game, if it's a DC and we're not in a team fight, we'll reset. We'll reset to the point. We'll walk the cart to the point where we were. We'll try and get the ult economy while we're walking the cart back.
yeah,
Sort of to where it was, give or take, and we'll play the match out, right? You're cool with that if you have any sort of sportsmanship,
yeah. No, I,
and
I,
that's
I agree with that. And
you
I
know
think Optic was kind of on the same path, but like, I feel like it's a little bit different in Overwatch because there is a more extended amount of time that you can play that game, you know.
right.
But 15 seconds, 6 seconds left in the match, and you're asking for
Mhm.
a replay. Like, you
Right.
just
If it's
kind of
the
just
end
got to
of the
be like,
game and it doesn't affect the outcome, I'm blocking that replay all day
yeah, no.
if I'm a
And
coach.
I think
And
if
if I'm
it,
if I'm seeing my players ask for that, I'm saying you had the entire match to win the match.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
like I said, I think going forward, two more things, obviously, for one, competitive integrity and rules should definitely be assigned. And, the CDL does hand out a player handbook that discusses all of the rules and little agendas and little amendments that
Is
the
that
CDL
public?
has. It's not public.
The
Only
first year was.
the first year was, but obviously there's been changes since, and I think it should be more public so that way more people are more aware. Why? Because if we're going to make it a rule, I think we should, kind of hand out this rule book. But do you know the issue with that rule book is, AJ? It's probably 4 pages long. And it's mostly probably about marketing and affiliates and
Mhm.
what you can and can't say about the CDL and the game.
Yeah.
But last thing I will say on this point is I'm happy it happened to Optic. And you might be thinking, oh, why are you
Me too.
happy?
No, me too.
Because I think realistically, if it happens to any other team, it gets brushed under the rug and it doesn't happen. I think with Optic being it happening to Optic, like they're like, okay, now it's a bigger ticket issue. The fact that the CDL doesn't have rules and amendments for half of the shit that goes on, and especially not gentlemen's agreements. I think the fact that there's not like a realistically not just a team that's dedicated to just working on just the CDL stuff shows how much they don't give a fuck about the CDL, and it really has showed this year with private matches not being done, with
Oh, yeah,
CDL
dude. It's
rules, like
understandable too. Why give a shit about this? Why give a shit about the CDL when you already made your bank off of the franchise fee, and then also you're printing money with Warzone, dude. Activision doesn't give a shit.
not with Warzone, let alone the 10th best selling thing on Steam, which was the CDL LA
The
Thieves skin.
LA Thieves skin because it's all black and you can't see it in game.
And I think at some point someone was like, "Oh shit, like they're actually making more money than we are." They're literally printing us money, you know.
Right.
I saw this thing that was they're gonna change the LA Thieves skin to add more red to it. Why? Because technically it's their game and they can do whatever the fuck they want. It was
Right.
literally what it said. It's like in the rules right below it. It was like Activision has all right to change anything about these skins that are being sold,
Yep.
which is crazy to me. Which is
I
crazy.
mean, it is their game.
It is their game. I get it. I understand. But like once again, let's just
The
never
all of the
backstep.
franchises operate under the COD League.
Yep, I get it. But like, you're not gonna give what is that $1 billion game league, $1 billion, $25 million league, whatever it is. At the end of the
Mm.
day, you're not gonna give them any say. $250 million. It's $275 million, something like that.
We
This
need
point,
Adam App,
um,
Mr. Adam App.
Mr. Adam App, he's making too much money over at Esports Engine. Congrats to him, by the way, for winning that Esports
Oh, he
Engine.
deserves it. He
Congrats,
deserves it.
congrats to Adam App.
Adam Apicella made American esports.
I will agree. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. Next big ticket issue: YouTube or Twitch?
Twitch. Have you
Twitch.
seen the viewership, dude?
The viewership is skyrocketed, highest viewership of all time. I think the fact that finally, and I will die on this hill, the fact that you're able to co-stream it definitely has made a
Oh
difference.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I, I know a lot of people that have watched Tommy, aka Zuma, and have been like, "Yo, I had no idea the Call of Duty was this big and this like cool," and now they're watching it because Tommy has been streaming it instead of
Mm.
like streaming GTA RP, and I think it only does good things for the league. And when is Tommy gonna get on the caster desk? When's it gonna happen?
That'd be funny.
I want to see Tommy on the caster desk so bad.
That'd be funny. My cat's going nuts.
Aggie and Prelude. I didn't see this, so you'll have to kind
Oh,
of.
basically, Haggy, in a very professional way, right?
Did he tweet it?
Just said no. It was a stream clip, just saying I don't think he's the best in the league. I don't think he's a very good player this year. Which he's an analyst. He's allowed to say that stuff.
I'll agree.
He is not the best teammate by any means, right? Would he be the best coach? Probably not, right? Just because of his personality, and maybe he's changed, maybe he hasn't. He's done some scummy things over the years, whatever. But that doesn't change the fact that he is one of the greatest minds that Call of Duty has ever seen.
I will agree with that.
It doesn't change that fact, right?
I agree with that.
Think what you want about him as a person, right? I'm not the
I
biggest
feel
fan of
like
him,
you have to put personalities aside besides
right?
the point.
But he's speaking very candidly and very professionally. Not very professionally, but it could have been
In a
worse,
professional
right?
sense. Yes, in a
Yeah,
professional sense.
he's giving his opinion on a player,
In as
right?
much as there is in this WWE league.
And he even said, he started with, you know, he's not the best player. He has room to improve. I don't think he's good. Perlu got pissed and tweeted out like some funny like meme of him or whatever. I don't
Oh
think
yeah, I did see
Kaggy's
that.
responded, but someone in the Reddit thread was like, he should respond by going positive in a series.
Let me see. Oh, he tweeted out. It was like that card, right? It was like that
Yeah, it
CDL
was the
card.
card.
They probably both deleted it, to be honest with you.
It's on the Reddit. I just read it.
You
Yeah.
just read it, yeah. Yeah. I mean, realistically, you can't get butthurt over someone's opinion. At the end of the day,
No, and I mean the fact that pros do.
especially in a league, where there's a lot of notable other players that could come up and easily take that spot. And I will die on this hill. Same thing with Neptune last year. Everyone was calling him Diva, Drama Queen. Same thing. I don't think the fact that, if you're going to get butthurt over something, that means, you're already shaky about it as is. Maybe spend some more time. Go grind a little bit more. Go play some eights. Go play some GBs. Go get exposed a little bit more, and maybe you'll get better at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Go watch some
it's
tape. See
kind of
what you're doing wrong.
it blows my mind that these. I mean, it really isn't that hard to understand why these kids act this way because they've never had a real. Most of them have never had a real job. They've never really had an insane amount of social experience, and they're these young kids that have never experienced what it's
Kids,
like to have a real life.
literally children.
They've never experienced what it's like to be like in real life, right? Because I think about when you were 18.
Ooh.
When I was at right, you're an adult, but you're not an adult,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it's like, why do these pros act like children? Well, because, a good 65% of the league is,
It's kids. You know,
you know?
if we're casting out people at the age of 25, the
Right,
league's never gonna mature.
right. So
I get it. I understand. He's just a kid. I understand getting
do
angry.
I do, but at the same time, like, you there needs to be a line drawn maybe by not the CDL because they never do anything right, but ow, dude, ow, that hurts. What the hell? Um, maybe not. Fuck, he was trying to grab onto me, but he used
Yeah.
his whole claws. Like, I know he's not trying to hurt me, but
Yeah. Just a child. Anyway.
he is 4 months old.
Yeah, literally. Should have called him
But
Prelude with how childish he's acting.
yeah, but maybe it's a coach, maybe it's like upper management at the organizations themselves, like there needs to be some sort of media training, right? Like,
Well,
because not only are you in a league where you're there's a certain amount of expectations, right? If you're an NFL player, there's a certain amount of expectations when you're interacting in a public manner, and even between teammates, right? There's a certain amount of respect that is required of you, right? Um, but like just how to act amongst teammates, amongst peers, amongst other teams, some sort of like formal training maybe,
just some sort of professionalism.
or some sort of exposure, right? To like, okay, this is wrong. Don't do this. Like, and it doesn't have to be like a week-long training thing. Like even just a day, I feel will at least do a little bit to help, right? Just kind of get it into their mind, like you represent us. You represent your teammates. You represent the league as a whole. You represent the community when you say things on Twitter and get into stupid bickering feuds.
I think some of it's good for the league.
Oh, for sure. But
Some
like
of it's good.
some of the small stuff that you look at and you're like, oh my God, like why?
Yeah. Um, I mean,
That's my opinion on it.
if we're gonna talk about it, to this extent, um, the fact that we're even gonna talk about sensitivity training, um, you know, kind of crazy to
Hmm.
me because Paris doesn't even have social media manager, and if they hired one this year, props to him because he's doing a phenomenal job over there. I don't know who's
Yeah.
posting for them, but he's doing great. But there's only 3 people over in the we'll say, and I'm only talking strictly Paris. There's only 3 people that are in that office.
Who owns the Vegas Legion?
His name's Drew. I forget his exact name, but
Who originally owned them?
Drew.
Misfits? No,
No,
Misfits owns the Mutineers.
Florida. Yeah, no. They have who owns the Pirates? They are like a subsidiary company
Uh,
of Contact Gaming. So they have one other team because I've done a little research. They have one other team. They have the guy who owns it. Yeah, his name is Drew McCourt. Okay, he owns. Let me see. Let me see. It's I believe either. So he owns Paris Eternal
yes, okay. I knew it
and
was.
or I'm sorry, the Las Vegas Eternal and the Las
Oh,
Vegas
did
Legion.
did did the Eternal change over to Vegas too?
Yes, both. He moved both of those teams over to Las Vegas.
Mm.
Um, so Drew McCourt, his dad, I believe, the only reason he has any money in what he's doing is because of the fact that his dad owns a soccer team.
Oh, so it's kind of like how Jordan General had Genji, or not Genji. What was it? What was it? Oh, what was it called? What was it fucking called?
His dad owns the Paris soccer team.
What was Jordan General's team before the league? What was
Uh,
it? What was it called? It wasn't Genji.
Let me see, because I really don't know.
Uh, shit. It was cringe. It was like a cringe name.
Triumph,
No, 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 no.
Onslaught, Enigma 6,
Enigma 6. Yes, E6.
E6. First of all, this team's cracked, to be honest with you. They had Frosty. I don't know who that is. They had Kismet. They had Sheen, and they had Jordan on that team.
Yep.
Did they place?
Enigma 6 was owned by General's dad.
Who's his dad?
I don't know, but he's rich.
Who's his dad?
Yeah. As far, let's look it up. Enigma 6 owner.
Yes, but the guy that owns and runs the
Oh
entire
yeah, Jordan General owned Enigma 6, and his dad basically funded it.
Okay. Well, there you go. People
Yeah.
that are in the league that just have ridiculous amounts of money thinking they can make money and have no idea what they're doing. Because I think with them rebanding to Vegas, they have, I've been to Vegas. They have a lot cooler of a facility there, especially with ESA being there, which is that esports arena,
Mhm.
which is sponsored by HyperX. They could do so much cool shit there. Um, without a doubt, they have a chance to do very well. And I think if they had at least a little bit, just a tad bit
Hmm.
of support, they could do a lot more for that team and be one of the more notable teams in that area. I mean, look what happened to the Raiders once they moved there. They got so much more love once they moved to Vegas. And I think the same thing could happen to the Legion if, like I said, once again, anyone to give a fuck about that team.
Hmm.
But, once they drop the liability of TJ Holly, the team gets a lot better.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And lastly, we have Hydra. We talked about it a little bit, but if you guys haven't seen it lately, once again, just another issues with how New York subliners are run and people just being immature, which was someone, their social media manager, CDL Pal. If you haven't, go follow him, go check him out. Hopefully we'll get some cool guests on here, maybe get some different opinions. But CDL Pal, if you're watching this, and you might be because we're going to tag you in this, tweeted out and said, I think CDL Intel tweeted, Standy and Hydra had similar KDs and something. And CDL, someone tweeted and said that the only thing they have in common. To
Yeah.
which he replied, and I quote, "That's not right." To which Standy, who was a part of this discussion, replied and said, "Damn, that one hurt, not gonna lie." Then within, I think, an hour of that tweet, CDL Pal was informed that he was no longer with the team. And for everyone that doesn't know, if you haven't been following up with all of the COD drama, CDL Pal, or I'm sorry, Yen Sauce, who is a homie hopper, previously dated MC. You heard me correctly, MC. Then she started dating Standy, and now she's dating Hydra. That's basically what they're talking about. And then New York
The league hopper.
Subliners has the audacity today to tweet out a Drake lyric that says "Can't take a joke."
That's wild to me.
That's wild.
That is wild to me.
That is wild that they have the audacity to even. I would at least, make a marketing statement and be like, hey, like we apologize, but it wasn't working internally, or at least a statement, but they haven't.
Hmm.
Realistically, I think their social media game has definitely stepped down since Gersh left.
Mm.
Gersh is good. Gersh is good. If you guys haven't, go follow Gersh on Twitter. He does the flank, Elena Phase, and he does a couple other ones. But I think that's gonna close us out. So
Yeah.
to close us out, AJ, who do you think is winning the Pro-Am? Unbiased. Unbiased. Because I know you're gonna say biased opinion. You're gonna be like Optic Texas, obviously. Optic Texas.
Optic Texas.
Okay. I'm biased. You're still going Optic. Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with realistically another green team, the Breach.
I'd love to see Zinni win.
I think Breach is winning it.
I'd love to see my twin up there on the stage. He's just like me for real.
I definitely think that they have the best chance of winning right now. If Optic's firing on all cylinders, they're definitely untouchable. As long as nobody pulls out an SAE, they'll be cool.
Yeah, let's relax there, champ.
Let's relax. But, I think Optic does have the best chance of winning. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to do it for us. AJ, what are your socials that everyone can follow you at?
Twitter at 4JMan.
4JMan. Instagram, if you want
Yeah.
to follow it, same thing. Go follow it, boys. Boys, girls,
Yeah,
squirrels,
it's
everything in between.
AJ.Hammond on Instagram.
And we'll be back next week after the CDL major. Maybe we'll do some live streaming this weekend of it. We'll see how it goes.
That'd be sick. I'd be down.
You down? Okay. We'll see how it
Cool.
goes. All right.
Later,
Peace.
fellas.